Hi, this is Alison Kero from ACK Organizing, and I wanted to respond to a posting I just put up on social media about if you have a single sock because its mate was taken by the laundry gnomes that, after you've waited maybe a week or two and it still hasn't shown up, it's ready to let it go because having one single sock without its mate is just keeping clutter that you don't really need, unless you like wearing mismatched socks and then, have at it. But what I noticed that was a lot of people were coming up with different ideas to utilize that one extra sock, which is really great because I'm always into repurposing. But I also kind of wanted to point out some things about repurposing so that you're keeping things that, yes, can be actually repurposed, and you're not just giving yourself an excuse to keep hold of the clutter any longer than you need them. So I just sort of wanted to go over some of the ideas and then also sort of talk about the thought process that goes on in your head that most of us aren't even aware that we're having, and that's what gets us stuck, and that's what keeps us holding on to the clutter. So, you have a sock left over, the gnomes left it, you're not sure what to do with it, and you're ready to let it go, but then you're like, oh, but maybe I can find something else to do with it, right? You're looking at this sock, it's cute, right? And you're like, oh, but let me keep it, right? Because what you've done is you've assigned a feeling to an inanimate object, and, whatever. I love some of my things, like the dress I have on right now, I love it. But when it gets worn or it gets ripped or there's a stain that comes on it, I'm going to be able to go, hey, you know what? We had a great run, and it's time for you to go somewhere else. I'm not going to find another way to repurpose it until it literally falls apart on me, because that's not for my best and highest good. And I always, always, always want to love myself enough so that I'm showing up in the best way possible. And that, for me, means not wearing ripped or torn or heavily stained items, even if I once absolutely loved them. Because, you know what? They don't look the same anywhere anymore, and they're not the same, and they're not carrying the same energy. They're old and they're worn and they're tired. So to move forward on some of the suggestions that some of the people had brought up, I just want to point out, one of them thought, ooh, a cozy for your beer. Okay, that's great, and it could look cute. But you really have to be cognizant of when you come up with an idea of this, because, this is going to be a bit of an art project. Okay, can you sew? Do you sew? Will you sew? See, that's the thing. I know for myself, I don't enjoy sewing. So a project like this for me, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's cute. Oh, I'm never going to do that. Because I'm honest with myself. It doesn't mean I'm lazy. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. It just means I don't particularly care for sewing, and I'm not very good at it, and I don't want to look at this dirty old sock for the rest of my life, and I don't need a beer cozy. And if I did need a beer cozy, I'd buy one I really loved instead of trying to find a new purpose for an old ratty sock, right? Because I don't have attachment to a dirty old sock. So for the beer cozy, if it's a great pair of socks and you can sew and make things look cute, then fine. But if not, you really have to just let it go. And that's the other thing. I mean, do you really want to be looking at a dirty old sock? You really have to think about the condition. Okay, this one is in good condition. It's cute and I like it. But this one, if you could see it more closely, it's pilling. Even though they're clean, they still see that. Right here, this is not a sock that you would want to hold on to if you lost the mate at all, So you really want to be cognizant of that. Then somebody said, hey, I can keep my change in it. And I thought, all right, well, that's an interesting thought. But, okay, here's change. There's change in this. Here's the problem. Well, now it's heavy. And B, unless I sort out all of the change into different socks of, this one's for quarters and then this one's for pennies and so on, you're going to have quite a few socks that are now holding this. Or every time you want a penny or something out of it, you're literally going to have to go through the process of dumping every single solitary one of them out and searching until you find it, and then going through the process of putting every single one of those pennies and quarters and whatever back in here. That is such a time waster. I don't want you wasting your time on finding a penny. That's ridiculous. Getting organized is about making a plan that is so simple for your life that this searching for a penny is not even something at all. Instead, I suggest keeping your loose change in something like a clear jar, because I can see what I have. It's in one spot. I keep it right next to my door. I put all my loose change in it, and when I need loose change, and often I do, I go and I look in this. And hey, it works out really well because I'm not sitting there and fiddling around and dumping pennies out and spreading germs everywhere. Everything is contained here. It's easy. I don't have to think about it. If you want to keep your socks and you want to make your life more complicated and you want to have an attachment in giving us a thought or a feeling, then that's your prerogative, but I guarantee you it's going to take a lot more time and a lot more energy out of your life than you could be giving it to your friends, your family, having fun, building your career, and all for a single sock. So if you want more advice or coaching or training on how to get and stay organized and how to let your light shine through so that you are living a life surrounded by the things that are truly you, contact me at www.ackorganizing. I'm Alison Kero. Thanks for stopping by.